everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Dream Star Grand Prix Review Series. I'm your host, as always, Scott Edwards, and with me today, my good friend Xavi, for the first time on one of these reviews. So, Xavi, welcome.
Oh, thank you. I mean, there was no other opportunity for me to come on because they were like 5-star Grand Prix matches, and I
Yeah.
and I only watched them because you and Dylan forced me against my will.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you could have done day one of this, but
Oh yeah, that's true.
I kind of oddly have people on. It's just like this one was a good time because it's a video on demand one, and it was a really good show.
Well, it
So
took me like 2 or 3 days to finish the first day, just because
yeah.
it's long. This one, the VOD dropped like yesterday. I was working yesterday, although I originally wasn't, and then I was also off today, so I was like, I might as well just watch the show. I was gonna split it up into 2 days, but I was like, this show's really fast. I can just finish it all
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, so it was a 6-match tournament day. We had 3 league matches from each, the Dream League and the Star League. We had Saree's first match. We had a Passion Injection rematch. We had a United National title rematch. This was a pretty packed show for one of their house shows. And I think I'd go as far as saying this was probably their best house show type show to date. I
I
think
agree.
it was just a home run all around. And considering the matchups, I think that's really exciting because there's only better matchups to come in this tournament. So that's something that I really like about this. But as always, we will get to the ratings, we'll get to the review and everything later on. We'll show you. We do have Pep's sheet back from the previous. We had it for the Star 5-star review. We have it back for the Marigold review. So thank you to Peps. Shout out to Peps. And before we get to the actual review itself, I do ask you that you leave a like, leave a comment. How are you enjoying the tournament so far? Let us know what your favorite matches of day 2, and make sure you press subscribe because you don't want to miss any of these because they're a little sporadic. This weekend they won't be though because they're both live, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's get to the tournament matches, shall we? Like I said, day 2 of the Dreamstar Grand Prix for Marigold. And we started off with a heater. It's Chika Goto versus NØRI to kick off the Dream League action of the night. I really loved this match. like going into it, like I said on day 1, like I'm gonna die for NØRI. This is like she's the real.
Yeah.
And Chika Goto deserves that same respect. And while Chika Goto does not have the win-loss record that she may want, she's going out there and delivering each and every single one of her matches. This match, the one with Amarei, and obviously the one with Utami, this one was so good though because the beauty of Chika Goto is that despite her height,
Yeah.
despite her ability, she is such a good underdog wrestler. And especially get someone like NØRI. The beauty of NØRI, right, is she's just going to throw those kicks. Like, there is no thought about it. I'm just going to throw these every which way, and you're going to feel every which one of them. And that's pretty much what this match was. It was Chika Goto taking the kicks and having to fight through it. This match, like I said, really, really good, especially for the opener. And between two wrestlers that have never wrestled before. So I think that's, when I watch the actress girls specifically, I always am interested to see, besides like Miku Aono and Natsumi Showzuki, I'm
Yeah.
always interested to see how they click with others that they haven't had the chance to share the ring with. And Chika Goto has been the best at just kind of going in there and being fine, right? We saw her do it with Arisa Nakajima and Sareee. We see it now with NØRI. She's just ready to take on all challengers. And I thought in this match, she had a great performance in defeat while NØRI kicked her head off to get the win.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the same boat. I was excited for this match even before it began, but I was kind of like interested to see how it would be laid out necessarily
Mm-hmm.
as a match. First and foremost, you talked about this being a home run of a house show. I agree because this crowd in Toyama was tremendous the entire night. A lot of the house shows fall flat because the crowd was great literally from start to finish. Especially in this opener. I just want you to know that I popped big for the Go Chica baseball jersey. I was like, oh my god, this is fucking awesome. Um, But yeah, I was. It was very clear, like when they started the match, Go Chico, she's gonna do what she's gonna do. She's gonna try to use her height and her power to her advantage. But Nori, like literally immediately, Go Chica tries for the test of strength, and Nori tries to fucking kick her hand out of the sky. She's like, "Don't do that shit with me, man. Don't you, don't you
Yeah,
belittle me." And she was just lighting Go Chica up. And to your point, like I said, Go Chica, despite being like the tallest person on this roster, is just the ultimate underdog. Like I
hmm
had to sit there and think after watching this match, like, is there literally anybody in this company that's a better underdog than her? And honestly, I don't think so. Like even with like people who have great peaks as an underdog, like Mariah, I don't think it's just the same as Chika Goto because she just has that natural ability to make you want to root for her and see her overcome everything. And I think that helped this match a lot. I thought personally Nori looked really poised in this one. I think her performance from her first match against Kouki all the way up to this one, they've just been
yeah.
night and day. She feels like she's more confident now that she's got two singles matches under her belt. She got to control the match, and I don't want to say be the veteran, but she got to work on top, and she seemed very comfortable in that role, which you usually don't see from people with less experience in singles action. Yeah, I thought this was an awesome little opener. I wish Nori got more of the kick because the way Gochika sold the finishing kick was awesome, like a big tree falling down. I wish Nori got more of it; it would have been great. But I thought this was an awesome way to kick off the show. And Nori's got a good little record. She's only had a draw. She's got 2 wins, so she's doing good to start off this tournament.
Yeah, yeah. She goes to 2-0-1. She has 5 points. She's now leading the Dream League after 3 matches. But yeah, I think the best part of the match for me was just Nori using her kicks to also like defend rather than just as her offense. I think that's kind of the beauty of what she's bringing to the table so far. So really good
I
match
think
here.
that helps out her block a lot because Showzuki does do kicks, but that's not her entire bag. As where
Yeah,
Nori can like lean into that a lot.
yeah. This match is like if by the end of the term it'll be one I look back on very fondly because it's like okay, we saw two people go in there that are both still learning
Mhm.
and really hit it out of the park. So good for both of them. Like I said, I really enjoyed this show. Speaking of really enjoying this show, we had Utami Hayashishita versus Victoria Yuzuki. Obviously, a big matchup for the future of Marigold moving forward. And this might have been Victoria Yuzuki's single best showing to date. Period. End of story. Like she was on in this match. She and Utami really was just there to serve as base for
Mhm.
Yuzuki. And she was served as a perfect base. Everything Yuzuki hit looked great. Her energy is infectious. That's the one thing I always believe in Yuzuki. Like even when she, I talked about it with her Suzuki match. It had a better
Yeah.
second half, obviously, but her energy keeps her in it, even if like there's a slip up or something of the sorts. This didn't have that. This was like the perfect showing for her. So
Mhm.
you felt that, and I think you hit a real high with this match. Had Misa Matsui, Nanae, and Sareee and Mai Sakurai not happened on this show, this would have been like the one I would have walked away from, like really celebrating because it was the Yuzuki showing I wanted against someone like Utami.
Mhm.
Utami is just so good at what she does. And I think at this stage, like watching Utami in this tournament, she's just so comfortable at giving to other wrestlers that in the end she still looks dominant. Like she gave a lot to Yuzuki here, and yet when she won, I was like, yeah, no, that was still kind of easy for her, but she let Yuzuki shine. And I think that was the beauty of this match. She hit the Baszler finisher, which I laughed at because she hasn't hit that since like the first show of last year's 5-star Grand Prix, and she just kind of retired it. But I do like it kind of being her rookie finisher move. I think that's funny. And
I
the
like it more
Ishikawa.
than the Tower Hacker crucifix bomb.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when she hit the German, I thought she was going to end it there, but she did a good sell of the neck,
Yeah,
which she's been working on throughout this tournament. So I thought that was like the perfect cherry on top, just that sell of like, all right, I need one more move. But Yuzuki did a great job here, and Utami did a great job leading the way.
yeah, I agree. This was the Victoria Yuzuki performance I really wanted on that day one versus Showzuki, but didn't get. And tough for Yuzuki because Showzuki had another match on the same day, so she got to redeem herself a little bit, as where Yuzuki didn't really get that opportunity.
Yeah.
But she got it here and she did great. I loved the role that Utami plays, where she was like, all right, let's use this match to get Yuzuki some shine and really showcase her a bit. And it was a lot more 50-50 than people probably would have expected going into it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just kind of the role Utami has as the top star. I mean, most people's idea, if you don't follow the company close enough, of her as a top star is probably vastly different from the reality of it. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
she has no problem with showcasing others and then coming back and getting the big win at the end. And that does nothing but help the match. I really liked Yuzuki's near fall toward the end, where the crowd got really into it on the rolling arrow. I was like, oh my god! I was like, that's a great near fall. And like you said, I one of the things I loved was the neck sell from Utami after she took the crucifix driver. She did the German, and she's just like, man, my neck hurts. I can't hold this on.
Mm-hmm.
So she won with the shocking Baszler. I like that move a lot. It's a good little move for her. This was a match you're gonna walk away from if you already have stock in Victoria Yuzuki, or if you don't and you're just like, yeah, I'm making the right decision. I need to get on this train now before she takes off. And I
Yeah.
like your noting of her energy. Um, when I look at her and Kazuna as a tag team, just the babyface energy both
Yeah.
exude, and to varying degrees. Like obviously, Yuzuki's a bit more aggressive and straightforward. It's just like thinking about them when they hit their peak as a tag
Yeah.
team. Ah, man.
Yeah, she's hitting the stride at the right time too, because obviously, like, she has the Kouki and Chika matches coming up back to
Mhm.
back, and those are matches Yuzuki has put a lot of effort, I think, into. And just in terms, if you watch the house shows, you know that she essentially wants to kill both of them,
Yeah,
especially Chika. So, like, she's hitting the stride at the right time. So I can't wait to see that, especially that Korakuen match with Chika. I think it's really gonna be one that stands out if they just go out there and make it personal rather than, just go for the big match. So this was a great showing. Really, really like this match. For me, matches get like a bump rating wise or whatever when they exceed your expectations,
I
and that's
agree.
what Victoria Zuki did especially. So I'm really happy for her. Best match I think of her less than 1 year career so far. She's coming up on her year anniversary, but
It's
still
crazy to think
brand
about.
new. I know. Well, she missed, the couple months obviously from Switch, so it's like it feels a lot shorter.
Mhm.
Like it feels a lot shorter because she
Even
missed
then,
time. But
it's just crazy
I know,
watching her. It's just like she's not a
I know.
year in. This is
No,
ridiculous.
no, she's gonna. There's a reason Utami acknowledged that she's the future ace after this match, so I think that says a lot about where she's going. And the next match we had was Natsumi Showzuki versus Kouki Amarei. Uh, you know, I said going into this tournament, I think Natsumi Shizuki against the actress girls is going to be great showings for them. And I think this kind of paid off here. Like,
Mhm.
this was a really good showing for Kouki again. Probably just a little bit shy of the Miku Aono match for me,
Mm,
just because that
mhm.
was the big match setting. And this was, just kind of thrown in the middle of the show. But she has a new sick finish, and that's what
Yeah,
matters. No, she hit
listen.
the
I hate the amethyst butterfly. I'm glad she got a
Yeah, I was
second.
gonna say she hit the Amethyst Butterfly, which obviously wasn't enough to beat Miku Ano in the title match. So you knew she was gonna have to develop something,
Yeah,
and she decided, I'm going to break your neck,
yeah.
almost. So she hits a backdrop
It's like an
driver.
elevated backdrop driver.
Yeah, where it's like, and Shizuki essentially had to flip through, otherwise she was like literally gonna land on top of her head, because I don't think Koki realized how tall she is. Like
Nah,
when she was doing it, I was
or
like,
how short that
oh. Yeah.
Showzuki is.
Yeah, it was like a hell of a combo where it was almost terrifying. Thank God she flipped through, but the move looked great. I like the finish for Koki. I think it's really good. Especially since she's, taller than essentially everybody in the company, not named Bozilla. So like I think it's gonna do her a lot of good. And Shozuki's just such, she's the pros pro. She's going to make Koki look good in the match. So ultimately, I thought this was a really good showing for Koki, which we're continuing to see. I thought Koki looked good with NØRI as well, um, in her first match, and now looked good here against Shizuki. And then, Shizuki, I'm waiting for that great match, but I don't think she's had I don't think we've got the opponent to have it
Yeah,
yet. The
I was very
Nozaki
high
one
on
was
the
really
Nozaki.
good.
Yeah, I was high
The
on that one.
Noza- but I know we have Mirai coming. I know we have
We have the
Utami
Utami
coming.
coming.
You know,
Yeah,
so it's like I know when those are gonna happen. But she's doing a
still
really
got
good
Go
job
Chika
making it
too.
look good. That's true. That's very true, and I think they will
And
have a
NØRI,
very good
come
match.
on, she still got the killer's row.
Nori's the most interesting one to me because I think Nori could get a title match out of that too. So that's kind of what
And
I'm
I think
hoping
they'll
for, at
kick the
least.
shit out of each other. So that's what's up.
Yeah, that too. But this was really good. This was really solid for Kouki.
Yeah. I'm on the same page as you, where it's just a peg below the Aono match, but obviously, this is her second best showing that I've seen like ever.
Yeah.
Obviously, it has to do with her being familiar with Showzuki and Showzuki
Yeah.
probably knowing what her strengths and weaknesses are and how they can play to those. But I thought Kouki, as an individual performer in this one, she was great at selling and showing some good facial expressions when
Mhm.
Showzuki was working her over. I thought she's probably the most explosive on offense that I've ever seen her be in this company. Uh, I love the new finish. Ishin does a very similar move. He actually does the same move, except for his is like sheltered. He's not trying to drop you on your head. He's just doing like a suplex.
Yeah.
So I pop for that. This was a good one for her. I'm still interested to see how the rest of Koki's tournament's gonna pan out because
Mhm.
obviously she's got Gochika gonna coming up. She's got Victoria Yuzuki coming up. She's got the big one versus Utami later on, and that's the one I'm really circled on as far as how she'll perform in that one. That's like the ultimate litmus test for her,
Yeah.
especially since we said in the preview that she'll probably end up getting the win there, depending on how things are scaled out.
Yeah.
And it's I don't want to say I'm fully sold on Kouki just because the two good performances we've seen from her are versus the two people that you expect her to perform
Yes.
well against. It's versus Showzuki and it's versus Aono. I need to see her not only keep this up consistently, but do it against the bigger names, which she has an opportunity to do throughout this tournament.
Yeah. The NØRI match gave me a lot of hope too, because again,
Yeah.
those two have never wrestled. I will say the new finisher is setting up really well to break Utami's heart at the end of this tournament, just
Yeah.
based on the story she's
She's gonna get
selling. And
she's gonna get hit with that SVRO6 RKO, then that backdrop, and it's over.
that's the realest move she gets, by the way. Next up, we had more Star League action as it was Nanae Takahashi versus Misa Matsui in the rematch from the Passion Injection match from a few months ago. I noticed Misa Matsui has gotten rid of the extensions already. She's like, all right, that's enough. We don't need these anymore. And like, I always notice those things because I feel like she just does it for Nanae. She was like, no, I like to have my short hair. I feel like I got to go back into like young rookie, even though she's not a rookie at all, kind of like young rookie mode against the Nai, which is really exciting because this match was great. I'd have three matches I consider great from this tournament so far, and this is one of them. Misa
Yeah.
Matsui went out there and showed out once again, and the Nai. Listen, the Nai's winding down. Okay, everyone that's paying attention knows this, right? But you wouldn't know by her performances because she's
Hey
still
man.
at the top of her game. Alex said to both of us earlier, it's a shame that Sareee and Mayu are just like, you know, doing what they're doing in terms of like rest of the year stuff. And I'd add
Yeah.
Hashimoto into that as
Yeah,
well.
that's
Because
what I
like
said.
because like Nanae is having a great year, and it's just like it's just kind of being ignored. And I think she's gonna have such a strong end of this tournament and end of the year that's like, the Nai deserves some love
It's
one way or
yeah.
the other when
Just
it's
to
all
round
said
out
and done.
what you said, I posted like immediately after watching this. I was just like, it's just a shame that she's having one of the best years of her career, like in the same year that Sareee, Mayu, and Hosh are just spitting greatness at any given time. Because
Yeah,
not to discredit her performances, but like the Western fan base very much doesn't like Nanai, so she's not
yeah,
gonna get the level of hype from like
yeah,
we'll hype up Nanai because she's fucking sick, but she's not gonna get the same love as say like Sareee, Hosh, or Mayu
right.
whenever they have like great big matches.
Yeah, and I think you said it right as well on Twitter how uh, this match was an upset away from being the perfect tournament match, and I think that's how it would have been the like guaranteed locked in match of the tournament so far for me. Had Misa Matsui got that big upset, because it felt like it was building to that, and then she ultimately lost, which is fine. I didn't expect her to win. Then I need to get points, right? She already lost to Mai Sakurai on day one, so I didn't have a problem with that whatsoever. But that was the one part of the match. I was like, oh, we're so close. And whenever Misa Matsui gets that win, it's gonna be special because these two have such great chemistry. They're 2 for 2 as far as I'm concerned, having great matches.
Oh no, I agree. Um, it's just incredible. Like when we previewed this, I said I did not expect Misa Matsui to score much, if at all. She's in the Hiroki Goto role, as in she's not going to score a lot, but she's out there to have great performances. And this was another one. The crowd was hot for her, hoping she get that win. One thing that I think was very underrated about this match, and it probably won't be touched on by many people. I mean, obviously we know Matsui; she's going to bring the high speed. You know, she can be gritty, but she was so technically flawless in this match. It was really awesome to see. Like, she worked over Nanae's arm very, very well in a way that wasn't boring. It looked painful. Like, Nanae looked like she was in hell whenever Misa
Yeah.
was able to get a hold of her. Yeah, it was an upset away from the perfect tournament match for me. Like, it's my match of the tournament still, but on my grading scale, I had it at a 9 out of 10. I think it would have been a 10 out of 10 if Misa would have got the win, just because I know the reaction would have been incredible. The win would have been warranted. But this was a great match. It's a great match for both of them, especially Nanae getting her first set of points after, you know, passing out to Mai Sakurai on the first day. So I think now she's going to steamroll on and probably get that big win over the Sun God later on in the tournament.
I think you're right. I think you're right. And I think that's the beauty of kind of what these two went for. You go for the near falls, you go for the upsets, and ultimately, the bigger time wrestler who's going to be in the conversation at the end of the tournament wins out. But I do hope Matsui gets some big upset win before it's all said and done, because
her
I think
her
she
and
deserves one.
her and Chiaki I'm worried about, because I'm like, I don't know where their big win's gonna come.
I know. It's not easy in that
Like,
block.
I'm
There's just
okay
too
if they only
many.
score like get one win, but they need to have like a
I
substantial
know.
win.
Yeah, it does feel that way. That brings Nanae to her first 2 points of the tournament, and she has a big weekend coming up here. But we will continue now with Miku Aono versus Bozilla in a rematch from the United National title match from Summer Destiny 2024. I thought this match was good, but again, it feels like they saved a lot
Yeah,
for
I think we're
like
getting
an
the third. I think
I
we're
do
getting the
too.
third.
I do too. I think it's a reasonable defense for Miku, or even maybe, I could see her drop the belt eventually to Bozilla if they want to give her a reign. Um, because, the way Bozilla won was very, uh,
Disrespectful. I loved it.
yeah, very
I loved it.
disrespectful. She wins with the Styles Clash, obviously Miku Ano's finish. And I think the beauty of this match is that, like I said, they didn't give too much away, but they still showcase enough.
Yeah.
So like if I put all these matches on, this is maybe like, in terms of my expectations, my least favorite of the show, because I expected
Ah,
more. I
okay.
expected more, but it's still a good match,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah. No, I
that's the
get you.
weird thing about it. Because I don't think it was bad, and I think,
No.
like, ultimately the final stretch was really, really good. And I think Bozilla's closing stretches are getting better and better and better, like hitting the big lariat, hitting the F5, and then following up with the disrespect of the Styles Clash. I thought that was great. But in terms of where my expectations were, so say NØRI and Chika Goto, or for Kouki and Natsumi, I think they at least met them, or of course Utami and Yuzuki. This match, I wanted the big rematch epic, and I don't think it was necessarily that. It only went 8 minutes, so
Yeah.
yeah, they're saving a lot, in my opinion.
I think I was on the other end of the spectrum, to where I wasn't expecting a lot of from this match, because I didn't like Bozilla versus Misa. I think it was Misa on the first day, and I was just
Yeah,
like, this might be a rough tournament. But I absolutely love this match. It was probably like my third favorite match of the show. I think they need to do more Bozilla matches, especially from here on out, where she's got the big names coming up, like this, because obviously she's a monster, but in this match she was very much human, and they got to have a good 50-50 wrestling match where they were equals all the way throughout. It wasn't just constant domination from Bozilla, which can be repetitive for a lot of monster wrestlers. And she could have struggled flipping that switch and having to wrestle a more 50-50 match, but she didn't, which was very promising. A little bit too inconsistent for my liking with her selling of the leg. I think she should have sold that a little bit more, especially like when she did the Vader bomb, because obviously she's got all that weight coming down on her knee. I wish she would have sold more on that. But that's just minor things. I like this match a lot. I love the finish because move thief spots happen so much, but they just never end a match. And the fact that she in the match is just like the ultimate like fuck you, and I think that's just awesome. Obviously, she went and grabbed the belt, so obviously we're getting the third, and I think that third is where we're really going to see everything come together.
Yeah, I the one thing I will give them the benefit of the doubt of, and like even so, I probably still do prefer this over like Kouki and Natsumi, anyways, just because Bozilla matches have a great atmosphere to
Hmm.
them, and I think that's kind of what lifts this up, even if even when the work isn't necessarily like top of the line, the energy from the crowd is always there for Bozilla.
Hmm.
And this was one of those times. And they roared when she went for the Styles Clash. So I think that's kind of the beauty of this match. It ended up being very good. I know we're waiting for more. Um, and that's what I'm waiting for. So I look forward to the rematch because they obviously have the tools to put on something great here.
Hmm.
And then we had our main event, Sareee making her Dream Star Green Grand Prix debut against Mai Sakurai. This, you know, I think when wrestlers talk, they
Hmm.
don't necessarily follow through on the talk, right? It's just
Hmm.
like some people just talk a big game and then they wrestle a normal match. That is not how Sareee wrestles. She
Nah.
hates it. She hates everyone in Marigold. She's going to destroy everyone in Marigold. And you felt that in this match. And I love that Mai Sakurai attacked her before the bell. There's no
Yeah.
reason Mai Sakurai shouldn't be attacking her before the bell.
There's no
Sareee
reason
called
she shouldn't
her
be
ass
targeted
out.
and shouldn't be targeting her injured arm. She went right for that shit. I was like,
Yeah.
that's what you do. Come on.
Mai Sakurai got her ass called out by Sareee in the Tokyo Sports article right before this. And she was like, okay, fine, let's go. And this match was all go from the start. Mai Sakurai is on the run of her life. I tweeted this out. I will just say it again. She's on the run of her career. Every single time she gets in the ring right now, I'm like, give me more. This is great. Like, Mai Sakurai is never going to be the best wrestler. She's never going to be the most athletic wrestler, but she is wrestling with, and yes, pun intended, a lot of passion and seemingly a lot of hatred in her matches. And that's the beauty of this. Sareee is the world champion that has told everyone you need to beat me. And I am not going to make it easy for you to beat me. There was a lot of hatred in this match. There was a lot of it felt personal between these two. Sareee brought out the headbutt in this match. I was like, man, can't believe anyone tries to say anyone else is the best in the world right now. That's crazy. um, this match was great. Great main event. Hot main event. Um, obviously, like this is how I go. Obviously, I'm going to talk up Sareee. That's just what I do. But I felt like for a tournament start again in the middle of Toyama, right? I remember when some people were like, "Well, I don't know how Saree's going to work in the smaller venues." I was like, "She does the small venues all the time." You think she
She
goes to
does not want to leave Shinjuku phase.
you think she goes to the Ito dojo to do anything but shine? Like she wrestles everywhere and she puts on the top performance. It doesn't matter on the venue. Her and Mai Sakurai, I thought, had a killer main event. In terms of main events from these three shows that they've done overall 2 days, this is my favorite main event. It's definitely in the conversation for me. I thought this was like great match. Mai Sakurai has had two back-to-back really good showings now, right? First against Nanae, now against Sareee. Obviously, she's going against the top dogs early, But it's hard for me not to be more and more excited for what Mai Sakurai is bringing to the table. And Sareee, I mean, she's gonna wrap up the rest of the year conversation by the end of this tournament. I mean, she's already wrapped it up for me. Like Mayu had her great. Mayu really pushed it in the 5-star, but Mayu's best match of the year, Sareee was in it, so it was tough. You know, like they were on the same team. It was tough. Everyone's best match of the year. But this was brilliant, and I love the Uranagi to end it. It was like delayed, and she
It
just
was very dead weight because she was
yeah.
rocked.
Yeah, she already took the headbutt, but it looked great. Yeah, this match was everything I wanted it to be. And the crowd was hot for it. And if this is what she's gonna bring against everyone, like her and Chiaki's now very interesting to me. Is she gonna
I'm
be
ready.
she's gonna be like, show me what you got, and then she like kills the poor girl? Like that's what I think Sareee might do. But I'm so ready for everything moving forward because she's bringing hate to the Dreamstar Grand
Please
Prix.
don't do that.
Oh God, no. She's bringing. I'll tell you what. She wrestled with disdain in this.
There you
match.
go.
You know, like in all seriousness, I tweeted this out. Like, you felt like she couldn't stand Mai Sakurai, and she's gonna probably wrestle like that the whole way. So I'm really looking forward to her 2 Korakuen matches, especially. Her Miku Aono on the Monday show is going to be incredible.
Yeah, this is like my second favorite match of the night, and it was only like slightly underwhelming to me just because I have been so in love with Mai's recent performances that I felt this one's a little step down, but it wasn't her fault because she tried her absolute best to be aggressive and physical. And the problem with that is there's very few people who are as aggressive and physical as Sareee, and about 90% of them was in the recent Sareee as a main event. So, like them exchanging the strikes and it felt only a little flat to me just because Sareee was kicking her ass. Like she tried, she really did, but even then, I thought this was a very, very good match. Literally, just it was very good. And that was like my only knock on it. But once again, that's not her fault. Like Sareee, like you said, she's bringing disdain to the tournament. If you do not give her everything you have, she's going to eat you alive. And near the end of the stretch, while Mai was trying her absolute best, Sareee was just like, hey, you only started popping off recently. I've been doing this shit. So you ain't got it like that. And awesome first win for Sareee. Next is her and Chiaki, I'm pretty sure. So that'll be fun. And obviously, she's got heavy hitters basically the rest of the tournament. The Aono match is going to be great, but obviously you cannot wait for her and Nanae, what that's going to look like.
That's gonna be physical. That's gonna be nasty.
Yeah,
that has match of the tournament written all over it.
That has the type of energy where you'll just like have to kind of watch behind your hands just because it's gonna get nasty.
Yeah, I mean, this was overall a great show. Sareee goes to a 1-0 undefeated record. It'll be interesting to see who does take her down in the end. I still think she probably goes undefeated until she faces Nanae. Miku Aono is going to be an interesting one, but I do think she'll get the upper hand, which is against Rossi booking usually. Rossi likes to book the white belt to usually beat the red belt in these tournaments, but I think Sareee is a different case altogether, and I think the way they're going, Nanae being the one to stop her finally or just slow her down feels right. Same goes for Bozilla. I'm interested to see who beats Bozilla. So, they feel like they're the collision course at the end of this tournament everyone's waiting for. It's just a matter of who can slow them down along the way, which is a beautiful story to follow.
It's very interesting considering they're in the same block as where you don't have that in the other block. Because, I mean, Mirai hasn't lost, I don't think. Yeah, I'm positive.
No, she went to a draw. She
went to a draw. She hasn't lost, but it's obvious she's gonna lose. No, they don't have that dominant force in the dream block as where they're like, oh, this person's just not gonna lose until the very end.
Yeah. So far our standings are as followed. We have NØRI at the top of Pep's never changed the names of the leagues, I see. Tisk. Top of the Dream League. NØRI leads with 5 points. Utami at 4. Mirai and Natsumi Suzuki at 3. Kouki Amarei, Nagisa Nozaki at 2, and then Victoria Yuzuki at 1, and poor Chika Goto at 0. I mostly looked at this because I wanted to see the times, which I always find interesting. Obviously, Chiaki, Kazuna, and Sareee only have one match each.
Yeah.
But Showzuki having long ass matches so far. Very competitive of the bunch. And I think that's, very important. It shows again her experience because she's not just doing this with the Utamis or Mirai. She's done this now with obviously Yuzuki going to the draw and Kouki on the most recent show. So, and then the main event with Nozaki as
I
well.
mean, it's very obvious they're a lot higher on her than people probably realize, which obviously so.
Yep. And then NØRI's averaging 11.27. Not a shock. Of course, she has the draw with Amarei. It'll be interesting to see who has the most time at the end. I kind of been guessing it would be Amarei, just
Yeah.
naturally for her character.
She loves her some long matches, man. So
She does, but she does the 15 minutes well, so I don't
yeah,
have a
for
problem
sure.
with it. Some people don't. Some people don't, but she does well. And a quick look here at my wonderful chart as I continue on. I think, honestly, confidently, Nanae is going to be the MVP. Like I'm
Yeah,
starting to feel that way.
yeah,
She's going really good. I think it's going to be between her and Sareee, but I think Nanae is going to get the edge because I think Nanae works with these wrestlers more,
yeah.
obviously.
I was about to say she's going to be able to get more out of them just because she's hands
Right.
on with all of them. So.
Exactly. So I think because even the matches against the rookies, they feel like passion injection matches, or not the rookies, but the younger
Mhm.
undercard talent. Those feel like passion injection matches, which are always raised up. So like that's the beauty of Nanae in this tournament. I think she's going to take home the MVP when it's all said and done. But this is it so far. Really good. Like I said, really good day 2. Looking
Mhm.
forward to day 3, day 4. I'll have those up on the YouTube channel the day of the shows, so don't worry about that. They're both live on Wrestle Universe, so it'll be easy to get to those. Xavier, let people know where they can find you before we sign off here today.
Oh, for sure. As always, you can follow me at best on Twitter at Xavierisms with 3 eyes. You could click that link in my bio, head to my Substack. I am going to attempt to review all of the Dreamstar uh, Grand Prix matches with grading and all that. Did it for the first day. I finished it for the second day. I was gonna post it, so keep up with that. Trying to see, is there anything else I need to plug? I don't think there is right now, but yeah, just keep a lookout on my Twitter. So if anything else happens, you'll be able to find whatever I'm doing there. So yeah, that's all I really got.
Well, thank you for joining me. Like I said, I'll be back on Saturday first because that's when the next show is. I was trying to remember. I don't know why I always get the Sunday confused because was it 2 weeks ago when they opened the tournament? Was it a Well, no, this show is on a Sunday. That's why I always get confused because the days change. But that show looks like a good one. We should keep it first ring. We have Kouki Amarei versus Victoria Yuzuki and Nagisa Nozaki versus NØRI. That match I'm very much interested in. Then we'll have Sareee versus Chiaki, Nanae Takahashi versus Kazuna Tanaka, and Mai Sakurai versus Bozilla. And then the Cork and Hall show on Monday is absolutely stacked. We have Misa Matsui versus Chiaki, Mai Sakurai versus Kazuna Tanaka, Nanae Takahashi versus Bozilla, Sareee versus Miku Aono, Chika Goto versus Victoria Yuzuki, Natsumi Showzuki versus NØRI, and of course the big one, Utami Hayashishita versus Mirai. Absolutely stacked. You have, in my opinion, 3 main events on
Yeah,
one show. That could have main evented any night of this tournament otherwise. So I'm very excited. I'm very much looking forward to that.
yeah. I
So
can't
make
wait
sure
for
to tune.
Chika Goto and Yuzuki to main event over Utami and Mirai.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
where I'm
I'm sure that's exactly what will happen. That match might have the most hate in it,
yeah, for sure.
so that's the most it's gonna have a lot in it. Those two hate each
It's
other.
gonna
Those
have a
two.
lot of hate. They're gonna get out the ring and throw each other into chairs.
Honestly, if they were gonna do that one time, it might be that match. That's the funny thing. Like Yuzuki,
I think
all
it's more
fired up.
likely Chika just choke slams her out of the ring, Spike Dudley style,
Yeah.
into the crowd.
Yeah. Actually, whenever Nanae and Bozilla might do that. They did that the first time they fought
Yeah.
because that was like a crazy war. But anyways, be back next time. So until then, thank you everybody for listening. So long.